our level of skill and capability and our level of accomplishment can best be measured perhaps by what our enemy thought of us. The senior German commander, at the end of the war on the 2nd of May 1945, asked for the privilege of surrendering to our commanding general. And he said that he had been a commander on the Russian front, in the north of Europe, and in Italy, and that the finest military unit that he had faced as a commander of German forces was the American 10th Mountain Division. And therefore, because of that fact, he asked for the privilege of surrendering his armies to our commanding general.
On May 2nd, 1945, in the village of Tobole, Germany would finally surrender its conquest of Italy. The German commanding general signed the documents of surrender in front of the commanding general of the 10th Mountain Division, General Hayes. General Hayes stood in the center of Tobole and spoke to his men.
When you soldiers go home, no one will believe you when you start telling of the spectacular things you have done. There have been more heroic deeds and experiences crammed into these days than I have heard of. I have been privileged to participate in many actions that were considered important and fierce battles. And I can assure you that one of the most bitter were the ones that we fought right here.
You would have thought that upon hearing that the war had ended for us, that we would be cheering and firing weapons and hollering whatever. But it was a far more somber reaction to that because we were tired and the war was over for us. It was a short period of combat, but very intense. And we couldn't help but think about the number of wounded soldiers and, of course, those killed in action. And what do we have to look forward to? That's something none of us knew at that time. But we knew that the war in Europe, France, Germany would soon be over, but the conflict in Japan was still ongoing at a fierce pace. And we were, concluded that there was no question but what we would be shipped home, a period of 30 days conceivably, with some amphibious training, and then be standing ready for the onslaught and the invasion of Japan.
For a moment, silence washed over the men. They could lay down their weapons and take in a few deep breaths. I survived, some would think, while at the same time, horrible loss blanketed them in darkness. A lifetime had gone